Hey there, Regina Andler here, and it is time for Tips and Tricks Tuesday. And I'm not sure if this is going as slow as it's showing up on my video, but I'm just going to keep going and hope that everything is working just fine. My video on my end seems to be very, very, very slow. All right, so this week we are talking about momentum. And have you ever noticed that, you kind of have to wait until you feel motivated before you start doing something? So the problem with that is that motivation isn't what comes first. It's it's the momentum that gets you started, right? So this week, the quote of the week was, "For any movement to gain momentum, it must start with a small action." And that's from Adam Braun. And that's really what we're talking about here. So today I want to give you 3 tips on how to get that momentum going so that you can start getting done what it is that you want to get done. Now, the first thing is we'll call it shrink that first step. When you think about a project, you think about something that you want to get done. It usually is something big, and your brain just goes into instant overwhelm because there's so many things that need to get done. So it's not that the goal's too big. It's just that when you look at the entire thing together, there's a lot of tasks. There's a lot of pieces that make it up. So the first step is shrink that first step. Make the first step something easy, something doable, something that you'll get done quickly, so that starts building the momentum. If you live in an area where there's snow, if you've ever put a snowball together and then started rolling it down the hill, and it might start off a little slow, but then it gets faster and faster and faster and faster and bigger and bigger. And that's the momentum. The momentum keeps it going. And so when you think about it, you start out with that little small piece, the little snowball, get that done, and then set it rolling down that hill. And you do the next step, the next step. Each step builds momentum. So instead of saying something like, well, I need to get this new program launched, that's okay. That's the big goal. But what is the one thing that you can do to get that moving that you can get done in the next 15 minutes? That's what I mean by shrinking that first step. Get the ball rolling so that you can actually start getting something done. So that's the first tip that I have for momentum. The second one is to stack those small wins on purpose. So now you've got the ball rolling. You did that first thing. Now you're going, I can actually do this. And so you do the next thing and the next thing. So one small win makes the next one easier because momentum compounds. So we're talking about that snowball going down the hill, right? So as you start going, it goes faster and faster and faster. That momentum is compounding. And so when you stack those small wins, now all of a sudden, it doesn't seem so overwhelming anymore. It doesn't seem so daunting to get done what you need to get done. So you just keep moving and you're excited about the movement because that momentum is moving you right along. So it could be something like maybe you want to sit down and write out your plan. Spend 15 minutes writing out the plan on what needs to get done for the next few steps. And then put those steps, if you're like me and you like a little checklist so I can check them off. When I check things off, that's what keeps my momentum going. I check something off and I'm like, yes, I got something done. So that just works for me. Do what works best for you. But maybe it's writing for 15 minutes. Maybe you're writing the plan, you're writing out what the task is, whatever it is. Maybe it's following up with a prospect. Maybe it's posting something on social media. Maybe it's reaching out and making a new networking contact. Whatever that step is to move you forward and start getting that momentum going, work on that. The goal isn't to do a lot. the goal is to create that pattern of all these small little steps, because all these small little steps get you to your goal. When I do my obstacle course racing, literally that is what I have in my head the entire race. The entire time that I'm out there, whether it's a 3-mile course or a 14-mile course, I just keep telling myself, keep moving forward one step at a time. Keep moving forward one step at a time. Little steps lead to big results. So, and it keeps the momentum going. So when you think about all of those things that you have to get done, breaking them down into those small little steps and creating that momentum pattern will really help you keep it going. And here's the other thing. Make sure that when you're doing those little steps, that you celebrate the success. Don't discount how far you've come. You know, back to my obstacle racing examples, when I'm doing an obstacle course and I'm like on a mountain or something like that, I often will stop and turn around and look back and go, wow, I've come really far. And I will take a pause and celebrate the fact that, you know what, you got here, let's keep going. We can do this. So celebrate those little wins. Celebrate that you showed up. Celebrate that you got that one little task done. You know, just let your brain know that, hey, this is where we're going. We want to keep this momentum going. Last but not least, notice what you're already moving toward. Where you're already moving to. I can't say toward for some reason. It doesn't sound right out of my mouth. So when you're taking action, you'll start to notice opportunities that you might have missed before. So as you start doing things, you're like, oh, and I could do this, particular activator. It happens the same way with your business and the task. Once you start that momentum going, you start noticing the things along the way that are going to support your momentum and keep you moving forward. So here's something to try this week. You know, keep a running note or a running task list or something. Keep on your phone or maybe on a piece of paper. And every time you notice a new idea, a new opportunity, a new connection that could help your business, write it down. You'd be surprised at how quickly that list is going to grow when you start noticing things. So momentum doesn't change what you do per se. It changes what you notice. So momentum is about that moving forward and keeping that focus on what it is that needs to get done so you can actually finish something. If you're one of those people, maybe you're an entrepreneur with ADHD, believe me, there's a lot of us out here, and you start things and you never actually finish them. This is a great thing for you, is to focus on that momentum and look at just what you've got in front of you, put those blinders on and just look at what's in front of you only. Don't go here, don't go here, go right here. Shrink that first step, make it totally doable, and then stack those small wins on purpose. And then notice what you're moving toward so that you can see how you're building it. You know, it's the looking down the mountain to see how far you've come, right? So think about one small action that you can finish before the end of the day today, not tomorrow, not next week, maybe in the next hour. Something you can finish right now so that you can actually get that momentum going and start your snowball rolling down the hill and get that momentum going so that you can finish or reach the goal that you're actually looking to get to. So that's what I have for you today for Tips and Tricks Tuesday. On Thursday, we're going to talk about in the AI Spotlight how to use AI to help you continuously build that momentum and keep it moving. How AI can actually support you in that. So join us for that on Thursday, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.